Okay, now I gotta get to the power strip so I can do the hack on the camera. There's one screw right up here at the top. I need to remove this one. And that allows the power bar to pull up. It's a little tricky because you got to move the cover just a little bit out so you can get it all apart. Once I do that, I can flip it over, and right here beside the LED light there's a little lever or a holder. I pop that up a little bit and the whole thing will pop right off. And this exposes my power bar. This is the power on, and this is shutter. Okay, on the power switch I need to go to this point right here, and I need to, there's a little bit of plastic on it, so I take an X-Acto knife, and right at the upper corner there's a little, you'll see a little bit of a solder there. I can solder my wire to. It is small. Okay, I want to put a little bit of resin soldering flux paste that I got from Radio Shack. I'm going to put a little bit there. This stuff goes a long ways, so I don't want to put very much. Okay, I'm going to tin the wire. I'm using a 30 gauge solid core wire. I'm only using about 10 watt iron, so I don't need a, I'm not even using a soldering station. I'm just going to lay that there, right on the corner there where I put that. And let's put my iron on there a second. And I got a good connection. Okay, for that was the power. This is the shutter. Right on this point right here, there's a real small contact. That's what I'm trying to solder to. You cannot get solder between here and the metal casing, or you'll get a error. The camera just won't work. It'll flash. I think it's yellow. Just the shutter just will not work. So you got to be very careful. So what I'm going to do is I take a little bit of that paste. I'm going to put it right on that little terminal because that's what I'm soldering to. It is small. Okay, I'm going to tin my wire again. A little bit on there. If you melt the insulation too far back, you're going to have to cut a little bit of it off, and I'm going to lay it right where I just put that. Right where I just put that resin or paste, and I got a nice good connection there. Okay, now I gotta put this back together. So I always go between this little tab here, this little hole, and I slide the first wire through, because the routing the wires is as difficult as the hack. If I get the wires routed incorrectly, then I can't, the power switch won't work. Or it'll be really difficult to work, one or the other. So I want to pull them out. And here's a little tricky part. I gotta hook that board back up. So you gotta separate the front cover. Be careful of that capacitor sitting in the front. It's a little tricky doing this part to get the holes aligned. I always struggle with this part. I have no idea why. There, it snapped on for me. So now I need to slide that in the front here by the strap bolt, and I gotta have enough that I can get that LED back down around that camera and get everything down. Once there, I can get it snapped together. I want to take these two wires, bring them underneath. I'm sorry about the top switch. It's difficult getting that back in there. It takes a little bit of wiggling and work to get it there. And once I get that in behind there, I want to keep that away from my selector switch, and I always want to keep that a little bit to the left so when I put it together right. Now I want to put that screw back in. And I can bring this wire back around. Okay, I'm going to take a short piece of wire. I'm going to tin the end of it. And I'm going to solder this wire to the USB hood. And not a great solder. Okay, now after I solder that one on the USB hood, if I'm doing a 3-wire hack, I'm going to close this up. I'm going to solder to my stereo jack, and I'm going to close it up. Like I said earlier, I was doing a 4-wire hack. So what I want to do now is, there's 3 wires here, a yellow, gray, white. I want to clip the white wire. And this one goes to my lens cover. And I'm going to tuck him away. I'm going to tin another piece of wire, this time a white wire. Tin a little longer. And I'm going to solder that in place of the white wire that was there. Okay, now I want to stick all these wires, work them down into the tripod hole. And that's my common. And the lens cover wire. And my power and shutter wire. 4 wires. Pull that down. And I'll maybe stick a little bit more. I'll be soldering the stereo jack to the outside of this then. So once I realize, I might come out here maybe an inch and just clip everything right off.